Okay, Marc, Erath, Deutsche Welle, which is television or radio?
It's television.
Television. What happened here this morning in Frankfurt and how did you perceive it?
It's a sort of clash of cultures, I think. On the one hand, the Chinese officials were upset about that they were totally ignored by the organization or by the organizers. The critical authors were introduced and welcomed, but not the official side. And so they were quite upset and left the room. On the other hand, the German organizers were upset about this fact that they left the room, because this is not a sort of conversation, a sort of communication, so they were quite disappointed. But I think it's a sort of lack of sensitiveness, I think. The Chinese side was quite, let's say, brutal or quite direct to say that they don't want to be in a room with critical authors. On the other hand, they were not informed that they would be invited to the panel too. So it's not a very good sort of communication between both sides.
And what did you think about, after everybody came back in the room and after the discussion started, what did you think about the first panel that we just witnessed?
The Chinese side quite clearly said that the time is over, that they have to listen to lessons of democracy. They are a big power now, a big economic power, and with a lot of political influence now, and they don't want to be treated like school kids. But it was in a quite regular manner this panel went on after this quarrel some minutes before. Now maybe everything is calming down a bit, and maybe now it's the moment when we can start communication.
Why did this topic over the last 48 or 72 hours explode in Germany? Every single newspaper, every television station, radio station was writing about it and covering this story. Why did it got so much attention?
A lot of people are anxious that we are too flexible, let's say. That we, for economic interests, that we are giving up some values, like the freedom of speech, to succeed in China as a market. And the question is, how many compromises do we have to go in or not? Was it right to invite the critical authors? Was it wrong? Was it right to don't let them to the panel? And this is a sort of thinking about ourselves. What do we have to do?
Do you think it's a good story?
That's for sure.
That's why. Did you come from Berlin all the way, or are you based here in Frankfurt?
From Berlin.
From Berlin. And how much coverage will you probably give this story? Is it a major story today, or is it just one of many stories?
It's just the news coverage, 1.5 or 2 minutes, I guess. It's not the first thing in the show. I think it's in the middle.
Thank you very much.